Hi, so in this video I'm going to show you how to assemble the rose flower of petal number 162. So this petal type, you can make it as ordinary paper flowers also, and you can assemble it like the universal type. So in this particular rose design, I consider it the largest of these sizes. So you can make up to 18 inches rose with a nice rose bud on it. So this flower will come with two different centers. We have the bud and we have the flat center, so you can really make your own paper flower when you need to. So it comes also with this particular Pentagon, which basically it's like 4 inches or 375 wide. I'll give you the exact measurement later. So we need our dowel rods for curling later, and of course our scissors and our hot glue and glue gun. So you may wonder that there are two different buds. Actually they are the same template. The difference is just the size. As you can see, one is slightly larger compared to this one, the smaller one. So with the smaller one you need two pieces and one piece for the larger one. So let's set this one aside. Also the base, we don't need that one yet. So in every layer has 5 petals on it. That's why we're going to use a pentagonal base. So first thing first, we are going to make a slit on our petals. So this rose or this petal, I don't recommend on really going above and beyond for the slit. A very narrow slit to start with for the largest petal, because we want this one to be more upright and to really look like would be more like a rose. And as you go a smaller petal, also your slit. So this is the third layer, and then the fourth. So now that we have this one all slit up, we're going to curl our petals. So before curling, especially the first largest layer, we're going to fold the middle slightly so that we will create a good texture in here, and fold 3 petals at a time, and curl the sides outward, and the tip outward, so like so. Outward, outward, and outward. So that's our first layer. Moving on to our second layer, the same thing. We're going to fold the center slightly and curl the sides. Outward. So by the way, I'm using a smaller dowel rod to curl the tip. And outward. So third layer, again we're going to press the middle a little bit, and we're going to again curl this one outward. Oops, careful, or you may damage your petal. And then to our final layer, instead of folding, we're going to curl this one in. So what we're going to do now is to curl the sides, but not touching this here. Curl the sides and not touching the tip. So after we do that, let's this one aside after we curl, and let's focus on our bud. So as you can see, there are two different sizes of the same templates. So let's go ahead and get the smaller one. This will be our inner bud. So what we are basically doing here is just soft curling the middle. So once we finish this, we're going to fold all these petals from the edge of the pentagon upward. So now that we've done this, we can now then go ahead and hug. Imagine this is like the head, 2 arms and 2 legs. We're going to hug the arms together. But first, we're going to curl one arm at a time. Make a cone. And squeeze some glue. Especially this very first petal or the very first bud. Give it a good number of seconds before letting it go, because it's tight and it would basically come off if you release it prematurely. So now we're into the second arm, one side at a time. So imagine again, the head, the arms are hugging now, and then the 2 legs. So we're going to join the my left side leg to the bud. And again, one side at a time. So once you finish that, we can then go ahead and join the head. and join the last leg. So basically this is our innermost bud. So after this one, we can then now put or join this with the second layer. So we're going to put this pentagon perpendicular to the pentagon of the second layer, like this one. And before that, I forgot to mention that we need to curl the sides. Like for example, the curl is facing you, you have to face it out and curl one side, your right side outward, inward to you, but outward to the petal. So it would be easier if you will do this one before placing the bud into the next layer. So see this area here, which I consider like the open area, that's where we're going to start. So basically this petal here. So this first petal is very crucial. We're going just to glue this side and leave this side open for later's purposes. And then we can then put a glue here and then glue beyond the glue below the curl. Same thing. And the fourth layer. So this is why I ask you guys to leave this first petal open, because we're going to sneak this last petal in so that it's gonna be one petal atop of the other kind of arrangement. So there's our second layer. It's starting to look really nice. So on our third layer, basically we're still gonna do the same way as what we did on the second layer. Curl the petals. And curl this side here towards you, facing the larger curls outward, I mean away from you. So here we go. So earlier we are placing the pentagon base here perpendicular to the pentagon base to the next layer. This time we're not going to do that. We're going to place the corner in the middle of the pentagon. Like so. And then we're going to glue this one towards our bud. So we can now proceed to our remaining buds on this layer. And hold it a good number of seconds before you let it go, as I said earlier, especially when it's tight and deep. Because it will come off. Fourth petal, down to our last petal here. So that's gonna be our rose bud for later's use. We'll set this one aside and let's focus to our petals. So first thing first, we're gonna check how upright we want our petal would be. So basically like that. Let's do all 5 together. Uniform way of gluing it, gluing the flaps, so that you would have uniform way of it standing also to your base. So before we're going to continue gluing all the flaps together, let's place this first layer into our base. So the edge of the base here, we're going to place it at the very middle of one side of our pentagon. So 1. The pentagon base will really make it easier for you guys. 2. 3. 4. And 5. So now that we have our first layer in place, we can now then determine how our second layer would really stand on this flower. So basically what we're going to do is check how it's gonna look like on our flower. So basically now I identify where should I glue the flap, which part. I'm gluing all the flaps together in uniform way. 2. 3. 4, and 5. So now we're going to glue this one into our flower, and let's place this next petal in between the two previous ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So second layer is on. Now let's work into our third layer. Okay, so got it. One, two, three, 4, and 5. Now we're going to place this one back to our petal, to our flower. Again, this is gonna be in between the two previous ones. So now we're moving inward so that we can really feel this center, so that we won't see any white spots when we put the bud in. So when you make a regular paper flower out from this template, you know, you can put the slit deeper than this one, and you can lay the petals more than what I am doing here. So we're just laying it more upward because we're after to closing the very center for the bud. So now that our third layer is on, time for our fourth layer. Fourth and final. One, two, three, 4, 5, and 6. So now let's place this one into our flower. Again, perpendicular to the second, but in between the two previous ones. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's gonna be our flower. Now we can put our bud in it. Give it a good and generous amount of glue. Like so. And we can place our bud in it. So here is our rose, guys. It's made from petal number 162. Again, the rose bud will be included in this petal template. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please do give it a thumbs up. Share it if you want. You can also pin it. If you have any question, put it in the comment section below, or follow us in our Instagram, and I'm more active there compared to YouTube. So until next time, guys, and until next tutorial, thank you so much and have a happy holiday.